Shanghai, 6 o'clock in the morning. Ships here are called East Wind, Yellow Mountain, stormy weather. Then also the Brasilia, the city of Rotterdam, and the ageless junks sticking close to the coast. This is what we could see from the hotel window every morning. We were staying at the Hotel de Paix. Wang Chu professionals working out. Traditional acrobatic combat which always attracts a big crowd. Much more so than Tai Chi, an exercise in concentration. As everywhere else in the world, at 8 in the morning, school children fill the streets.
How much does the soup cost? 10 fens. Is that a lot? No, it's not. Do you prepare the soup yourself? Yes, I do. How old are you? 43. Do you have children? I have 5.
There's no special hour for sweet soups. They make an excellent breakfast. This snack bar is very popular for its sweet specialities, particularly its green cakes stuffed with jujube and steam cooked. When you've eaten 2 of them, you're really not hungry anymore.
I'd like 1.5 yuan's worth. 1.5. That looks pretty good. I'll take this, too. This is jiacai from Shanghai. We used to bring it in from Sichuan. Now we can prepare it in Shanghai. That way we can save on transport costs, which is better for everybody. In the beginning we sold fruit. Now we do specialties from all parts of the country. They're very popular. Is it good? Yes, it's very good. You can eat it cooked or raw. Both are good. Do you wrap packages here? Of course, of course. And how much does it cost? 55 fens. Does one pay for the packing too? No. Why does the post office wrap packages? It makes things easier for people. And those needles there, what are they for? They're for anyone who might need them for their packages. Do you make a lot of packages like those during the day? Yes.
Shanghai has two parts, separated by the Wangpo River. Ferries take people across. If you miss your ferry, there'll be another one in 15 minutes. We like Shanghai. It's the kind of big city we're used to. Large crowds, thousands of different stores, curiosity, constant movement. This drugstore, called Drugstore Number 3, is in a very busy neighborhood in the southern part of the city. It has 24 employees and serves about 1,000 people a day. We were there every day for 8 weeks.
This is very good for the liver. It also contains vitamins. Keep away from greasy, fatty foods. Fat tires the stomach, and the liver suffers. There's another medicine, which isn't bad. It contains both hepatic and vitamin B6. I'd like 2 aspirins. What for? I don't know, it's for my mother. We don't have any just now. I'll write your mother a little note. Ask her exactly what she wants it for. Does it work? Yes, very well. What's that? It has a cortisone base. I'll try 2 bottles. It costs 15 fens. Usually, I cough a lot less, but I often have to spit. Is your phlegm thick? Yes. Oh, I see. Now it's very thick. Yes. And slimy, too. Does it have a yellowish color? No, it's rather white.
Medical care and medicine is free for the working people. Everything is paid for by their company. Those who don't work have the same rights by paying 1 yuan annually. With a prescription, one pays absolutely nothing. Without a prescription, one pays.
My daughter does the errands for me when I'm busy at the house. It's for my rheumatism. I'd like some aspirin. 4 pills. Yes, 4. That's very nice of you. I'm so busy, and the child didn't really know what I wanted.
These women are responsible for explaining and distributing various contraceptives in the neighborhood, free of charge.
You also wanted to see the contraceptives. I'll show them to you. This is a diaphragm. You insert it into the vagina. This is the contraceptive jelly, which you spread on the diaphragm. You spread it on the surface. On the surface, according to size. And this is the applicator. You have to buy an applicator if you're going to use jelly without the diaphragm. The applicator is used for jelly alone. And this is the contraceptive pill number 2. You can distribute it in your neighborhood, carefully explaining the differences. Each woman will have to decide for herself which method is best. What else do you want to know? In any case, if there are any problems, we'll be here to help you. All right? If you don't understand how to use something, come back and ask us.
Drugstore number 3 has transformed one of its rooms into a dispensary. About 100 people come to consult every day, especially for minor problems. This medical center is convenient for both neighborhood people and transients.
Have a seat.
Acupuncture. The skin is pierced with fine steel or silver needles at the exact point corresponding to the patient's ailment. Several centuries of practical experience have led to the discovery of more than 2,000 vital points. Almost all illnesses have been treated by acupuncture, but the scientific reasons for its efficiency are still unknown.
Open your mouth. Up until the Cultural Revolution, medical care and medical products were two separate worlds. The drugstore only sold medicine. If you're sick, go to the hospital. That wasn't practical. People didn't agree. Since the Cultural Revolution, we've criticized the profit motive. And we've asked ourselves, for whom are we really working? That's a fundamental question, a matter of principle. And also one which makes us take sides. If you're only interested in profits, and your zeal increases along with your rising sales, you're on the way to serving the bourgeoisie. That's what we call putting profits at the helm. In my case, I was influenced by Liu Shaoqi before the Cultural Revolution. That was when our drugstore preferred to deal only with big orders. We used to encourage the consumption of expensive medicines and stimulants. We were always eager to handle the big deals. Small business had no interest for us. Do you get a bonus as well as your salary? Bonuses no longer exist today. They no longer exist. The bonuses used to depend on the profits of each enterprise. They increased along with the profits. I was only interested in my bonus. As soon as a bonus was in sight, I cared only for the bonus, not for people. We're the ones who criticized you the managers. But when we questioned your attitude, in fact, we were putting ourselves on trial. It used to be very simple before. I gave orders and the workers obeyed me. That didn't encourage them to use their own initiative. Collective management might seem to take more time. We have to discuss, get together. All that takes time. Before the Cultural Revolution, I made all the decisions alone. Now we talk everything over and encourage personal initiative. We encourage it. Before, you practically never consulted anyone. Since you never listened to us, well, we finally kept quiet. One single person managed everything, and that person was the only one who had the right to make himself heard. If I'm asked to speed up the work because a lot of people are waiting, I can think about it and hurry. But if I'm ordered to hurry, I just couldn't care less. And that brings us to a dead end. I used to think, the leaders have entrusted me with a specific job. I have to carry out their orders step by step as they want. In other words, I reacted like a robot. That's why my conduct was criticized by the others. They said I was being too servile. Before the Cultural Revolution, it was a privilege to voice an opinion. We condemn that attitude, and today everybody can speak his mind. Today, the leaders do the same work as the other employees. I wait on the customers. Since the drugstore is open day and night, I also work the night shift. In other words, we all do the same studies, the same work, and perform the same services. Your blood pressure has gone up since last time. Where does it hurt? It hurts all the way up to here. Oh, it hurts. Ow, it's sharp. Ow, that hurts. That hurts, that hurts. Goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Gao.
The employees have established 5 rules called assume the same attitude, the same concern for the steady customers and the transients, for those who buy and those who merely want information, for those who buy a lot and those who buy a little. Be attentive even when you're very busy, whether it be during the day or night.
I'd like to know if this cod liver oil is good for the eyes. It's made especially for the eyes. Oh, then it's good for the eyes. And the price is for 1 bottle. Does it come in liquid or in pills? In pill form. Oh, in pills. And it costs 2 yuan 70. What's the matter with your eyes? I have hazy vision. This is very good for the eyes. Take 3 pills each day. I should take 1 3 times a day. Your vision is bad because of your age. I consulted an eye doctor. at the hospital. He said I had a cataract. It's not serious. It's a mild case. Take a bottle of vitamin A and a bottle of vitamin C. Take both of them and your cataract will get better. I should take them both. Take a bottle of vitamin C and the pills too. She'll show you. The vitamin C. They cost 65 fens. And 2 yuan 70 for these? Your eyesight is rather poor. This eye. And this will help? All right then. I'll come back. Thank you very much. You see, I'm not really that old yet, but my eyesight is going little by little. It's annoying. You must be careful. You should take something for it. So you say that this medicine is good for the eyes. It's very good. It's very good. It will prevent your eyesight from getting any worse.
The drugstore employees have meetings once a week.
If we stock up on oxygen tanks, how many will we sell in a year? Not even one, perhaps. So what's the point? But we only have one to rent. We have to keep people's needs in mind. We shouldn't think only in terms of money. That's true, and it costs almost as much to rent the tank as to buy one. And then there could be an emergency where we need an oxygen tank. It's not as though we were selling perfume or wool, especially since we often need it at night. Just imagine somebody with high fever during the night. He chokes, suffocates. He needs oxygen. It's a special need, don't you think? If the patient chokes, by the time we get there, he's no longer breathing. That's why we need a few tanks on hand. It's more economical to buy them than to rent them. Look at this. The people over on Hankow Street hold radio as 6 yuan for rental. And what's more, they wanted to buy it. They could have bought it. That's true. And they're not the only ones, according to our records. There was a patient who used the tank for 2 months. That's why I think we should have several standing by. And not only for rent, but also for sale. Just now, I was afraid of blocking our money. Afraid it would be harmful to the development of the drugstore. I saw everything in financial terms, not in terms of people and their needs. I think the young people are right to raise this issue. It's a matter of practical importance. Are we going to meet our responsibilities and have a supply of oxygen tanks? I said to myself, the young people are new here, and they want us to buy oxygen tanks. Nobody ever asked us for one in 20 years. So I said to myself, what do these young people know anyway? Another problem, we often get nervous with the customers. The workers and peasant control group brought it to our attention. They mentioned several young comrades in particular. It's not easy because when we try to explain how to take a medicine, There are customers who think we're talking down to them. Sometimes we're very busy, and it's hard to keep calm. But one has to be patient all the same. Sometimes I don't know what gets into you. You just get carried away. But sometimes it's not just a question of patience. People ask things which we can't answer. You have to be patient anyway and try to explain. We have to watch our behavior. I find your voice rather loud. My voice is always loud. But some customers are never satisfied. Like that customer who spoke in a northern dialect. He kept saying, "Faster, faster." And that's all I understood. I kept asking him to repeat, but I couldn't understand. On top of that, he wore a mask over his mouth. I told him to take it off and repeat it again. He started to yell, "Are you deaf or what?" That's just to show you that it's not always easy. You were there, Pang Fun. You heard everything. Didn't it happen just like that? Yes, that's right. Our role is not limited to sales alone. Let's try to be a little more like fish in water. I agree with almost everything, but not everything. In any case, you lost your temper. You raised your voice and the others did too. Be calmer, that's the best thing. Don't raise your voice. We have to do everything to satisfy the customers. We mustn't look at things from a selfish point of view. Well, I'm not quite convinced.
The sales clerks at the drugstore are from Shanghai. Many of them live in the old quarter, in the center of town behind the big avenues. By bicycle, they can get to the drugstore in 15 minutes. Shanghai has 10 million inhabitants and 1,100,000 bicycles. The streets are crowded all day long. There is no one day when everybody is off from work, like Sunday in other countries. Each work unit decides on its own day of rest.
Say goodbye. Why can't you change it? This whole thing is really getting on my nerves. I can't change it for you. I can't. But I'm telling you, it doesn't work. You broke it. I can't change it. I'm not going to buy a new one. Do you think this is worthy of a socialist enterprise, this kind of treatment? I can't take it back because you're sick and you used it. We can't take back medical supplies. Don't get angry. Let's have a look. Just wait till we have a look. I just bought it. Don't get excited. We'll change it if there's a defect. It's full of dust inside. And where's the copper wire? Do you know where it is? Ah, here it is. Oh, that's the copper wire. My mother has asthma, and they told me to buy her a throat spray. It didn't last long. It works. It was dirty inside. Now it really works fine. It works very well. I was told to press it gently. Very gently. My mother catches cold easily at her age. She catches a cold from anything. And each time she gets an asthma attack. I'll take a bottle. You'll feel better, you'll see. I can tell you how much it costs. I know, my husband has asthma too. But you have to press down gently like this. At home, someone tells you do it this way, another says that way, and nobody knows how to use it. You have to admit it's not a great system. Oh, that's the medical office. Your drugstore is well known for being in the forefront. What about the other stores in Shanghai? Oh, that's very relative. Take the store called Sparks, for example. They really work for the people. Everybody should take them as an example. It's like two people running a race. If one of them stops, the other gets ahead. It's true that it's relative. Do you think it's important to go to work in the country with the peasants? Before, when the farmers would come in to buy medicine, I thought we'd never manage to make ourselves understood. I thought they'd go on asking questions forever. I must admit I didn't have a very comprehensive attitude. My attitude has changed since I went to work in the country. At that time, when the farmers came to us, I found them somewhat primitive. I'd like to ask what happens when Xiao Lu is not in agreement with one of your decisions. In that case, I don't wait to tell them what I think. If I don't manage to make myself heard the first time, I'll wait for the next occasion. Recently there was a small incident, not very serious, but you'll understand. It was about the display windows. Some wanted it this way, I wanted it that way. Nobody listened to me, so I insisted. When he's in a bad mood, we try to make him understand. We try to persuade him, and in general we succeed. But sometimes we don't succeed in convincing him, and then he lets everyone know what he thinks. And he complains, he says he's misunderstood. How old is Liu? 30. Is he married? Not yet. Why isn't he married? Simply because I'm still looking for a girlfriend. Chairman Mao recommends that we marry late. In what way do you follow the example of drugstore number 3? Here on Huaihai Avenue, drugstore number 3 and the Spark store have been an incentive for all of us. We want to do as well as they do. Our merchandise is more varied now. We have in stock what people most prefer to buy. Before making our choice, we make inquiries and hold meetings to find out what people want most. We want to know what people hope to find when they come to our store. That's as far as we've gotten. Here the personnel take part in running the store. This is one of the ways in which we're similar to drugstore number 3. But there are many differences too. Compared to the drugstore, we believe there are many differences. For instance, here, the workers and the peasants don't participate in managing the store. Almost everything we sell is manufactured in the factories. That's why we take part in the production work of the factories. How much do those spittoons cost? 2 yuans 80. No, 288. And the thermos bottles? 650.
The village of Changtan, in the popular commune of Longhua, 15 miles from Shanghai. These people are not really peddlers. They are Shanghai workers who have come to present their goods to the peasants, to see if they like them.
That's new. It's got a nice ring. We'll take one. In the country, you need an alarm clock with a good ring. You want a square one or a round one? The square one's more modern. It'll look good in a new house. When you get older, you prefer simpler things. Does it cost more than 30 yuan? Just 14 yuan 70, and listen to it ring.
Pharmacists come to the village once a week to treat the people and bring them medicine.
You already cured me with acupuncture, but now it hurts here. Yes, there. In the heel there. That's where it hurts. You see? You've sprained it. It's all over. Don't move anymore. All right? All right, all right. Bend your head. Fine, don't move. How's that? Does it hurt? Does it feel numb? There it goes. That's it. I've had pains in my shoulder, in my left hand, and in the small of my back. I've already had acupuncture. And now your shoulder doesn't hurt anymore? I'd like you to do something for my back. Fine. But let me take care of your hand first, and the back later. $2.78. I'd like a bottle of glycerin, please. Wait your turn, wait your turn. Here's your change, wait your turn. I still owe you 6 funds. Here's your change. Here's your 6 funds.
After taking care of the peasants, the pharmacists work in the field with them. During the month of February, they pick cabbage. The wagons bring the crop directly into Shanghai. Thanks to its green belt, this enormous city, like almost all the cities of this country, is self-sufficient in fruit and vegetables.
Ask Bao if she was happy when she started to work in the drugstore. At that time, I didn't like the work they made me do. I used to think only the doctors performed a service worthy of respect, and I only did the work of a servant. That's why I wasn't happy with my career. I wasn't interested in politics or in political studies. I only had one idea in mind, and that was to become a doctor. That was my only goal. It was only after the Cultural Revolution that I started asking myself, does one try to become competent in order to become famous, or to serve the people? In fact, you must become competent in order to serve the revolution. And I understood the real importance of the idea of serving the people, and how to serve them. Did she agree when the drugstore opened its medical care center? Changing bandages made me so sick I almost fainted. In any case, I didn't like working in the clinic. I thought it was a show of misplaced energies. It made me think of dogs chasing rats, see? Has she been working at the drugstore for a long time? It will be a little more than 6 years. How much does she make a month? I make 40 yuans. And my husband earns 59 yuans. Is that enough to live? Oh, it's enough. Between both our salaries, we earn 100 yuans. There are 3 of us with the baby. We give Mama 20 yuans to take care of the baby and feed him. My husband and I pay 10 yuans a month each for the cafeteria. That makes 20 yuans. Who manages the family budget? I do. She holds the purse strings. All of them. Does that mean that she's the boss in the house? Am I the boss in the house? Well, in general, we talk it over before we buy anything. We usually come to an agreement. She works all day. How does she manage with the baby? Most of the time, I eat at the cafeteria. So does my husband, especially when there are meetings. On Sunday, we both take care of the cooking. In general, in the morning, I cook and he looks after the baby. Then the baby sleeps. He does the wash and I mend, or knit, and he washes the floor. That is, he does the heavy work. It's the same for me. Sunday I wash the floor. I sweep up, or else I fix things. I handle the heavy work, and leave the rest for my wife. Does she think that women's liberation is a reality in China? In principle, I can say that the problem has been resolved. Women are no longer victims as they were under the old regime, subject to marital and religious power. There might still exist some inequalities in certain couples. Women in China are not 100% liberated. We still need some more time to get to that stage. Does she have the impression that she's a free woman? I think I am. For the most part, I think so.
Under the old regime, this salesman Hong was a jeweler. When the jewelry business wasn't doing well, he turned to pharmaceutical work. He is the former owner of the drugstore.
What exactly does your work consist of? I'm an employee. And as an employee, I work at all the different aspects of this business. Your salary is higher than that of the other employees. Why is that? Do you find that normal? No, it's not normal. I make the same wages as I did in the days of private enterprise. The state hasn't reduced my salary. The comrade workers and employees who do the same work as I make, at the most, 82.5 yuans, while I earn 107 yuans. Does he participate in the management of the drugstore? Before, I used to participate. But since I'm an old capitalist, my thoughts are not always well adapted to the socialist system. And for that reason, when it comes to administrative problems, I don't always adapt very well. For example, the problem of inventory. I like to have a big stock on hand. I like things to move easily. It's better for business. But that's a bourgeois idea. Workers and employees don't think the same way. Therefore, I think it's better that I don't participate. Mama will get the socks. I'm going to change the socks. Don't move. No, don't move, don't move. Papa's going to change his socks. Don't move. Look how dirty she is. Oh, you're dirty. Mama's gonna put your mask on. And now the bonnet. Pick your head up. Pick your head up. Let's go now. Here we go. We're going to Grandma's house. Don't cry, don't cry. There we go, there we go. Call Grandma. Here we are. She's tired. Let's take off her mask. She's sleepy. We'll put her to bed. She's sleepy. Mama will rock you. Put the pillow here. Cover her, cover her. She's asleep.
The drugstore has set up a worker peasant control committee. 3 neighboring factories, including this pharmaceutical company, send their elected representatives. The neighborhood also sends a delegate. This kind of joint control between customers and employees is still unusual. It is still an experiment.
Are you going to the drugstore tomorrow? Yes. Can you give them the name of this cream? Sure. I'll need another tube. Fine. Also, I have a bone to pick with them. When I wanted to buy cough syrup, there wasn't any. And what's more, they asked me for a prescription. All right, I'll bring it up at tomorrow's meeting. That will help them to improve their sales attitude and the quality of their work, to serve the customers better. And I'll bring you the cream tomorrow. Come over and get it at the shop. Dao has something to tell you, too. Tell her to come by. If you go to the drugstore, can you tell them that when I went there to buy a thermometer, they weren't very polite. I couldn't get the thermometer. They made up all kinds of excuses. Was it a man or a woman who waited on you? A man. What did he look like? He wore glasses. Was it a young man or an old man? It was a young man, on the heavy side. Young and fat. Oh, that could only have been Xiaoliu. Xiaoliu, he fits your description. Sometimes he gets angry with the customers. It's good you mentioned it. I'll bring it up at the meeting tomorrow.
The village to which the drugstore is linked also sends a representative to the control committee.
I'm going to drugstore number 3 tomorrow. If you've anything to tell them. I bought a cream there the other day for my mycosis. It didn't work very well. Ask them if they have anything better. Tell them it's for me, all right? And then for acupuncture, Dr. Tsai came by a few days ago. He's really very good. But now they're also the young doctors. And they're not very good at acupuncture. You can feel them hesitating. So what I'd like is that these 2 apprentices learn their profession better. That's all. I'll leave it to you. Anyone else have anything to add? Once I had pains in my back. I asked them for some medicine. Some of them told me they didn't have any. Others didn't even bother answering me. I'll mention it. Is there anything else? An errand or any other criticism? If there's nothing else, I'll be going. Don't worry. I'll give them all your messages. Are you going to the drugstore? I borrowed something from them. Can you return it? Yes. Just come by and leave it off at my place, all right? Thank you very much. I didn't have the time to bring it back. Somebody borrowed this catheter. She doesn't need it anymore. Could you check to see if it's all right, please? Put it away then, and thank you. Did you come by bus? I took the number 50. It was packed. When I left them, several members of my group told me they were really very happy with the medical products you came to sell. They'd like you to come again. You see, we work very hard in the country, especially during the planting season. Our village isn't very far from the city, but to go back and forth, it takes 1 or 2 hours. As for me, a fellow worker at the factory told me what happened when she came to buy a thermometer. It was already dark out. One of the comrades didn't receive her very well. She's not very happy about it. She asked me if I was coming to the drugstore today. She said, "Can you give them a message?" I said, "What message?" She told me the story about the thermometer. I asked her if it was a man or a woman who waited on her. A man. What was he like? He was wearing glasses. It was me, there's no doubt about it. She also said he was young and rather fat. Then it was me. That's what I thought. Was she an older woman? More or less. Oh yes, now I know. I was on the night shift, but I don't remember with whom. She asked me for a thermometer, and I told her that we were out of them, that I was busy, but she shouldn't bother me. I told her to come back another time. I told her to get lost. But you should have tried to help her, or at least have been patient with her. You should have told her you'd try to send her one the next day. One day old Wu came to see you. 4 young clerks were behind the counter. That intimidated him. So I think the clerks should be grouped differently. If you see him again, tell him you should speak to the younger clerks without being embarrassed. If they don't know, they'll ask the older ones for advice. Just because you're young doesn't mean you're ignorant. Anyway, that's the way old people are. They're mistrustful. They'd like to ask questions, but if they feel ill at ease, then they leave. They need reassurance. If the young clerks can't help them, the older ones can. Instead of just standing there, we should have helped him to tell us what he wanted. Another thing, as far as work goes here, in drugstore number 3, everything's fine in every way. On the other hand, interest in political studies is dropping. We can't really say you don't study, but you don't take it very seriously. When there's a lot of work here, studies suffer. But it's true that we can't be efficient if studies are neglected. We have to be read and expert. Excuse me, but I have my own ideas about studying. When we have too much work, our nerves are on edge. Upstairs, you're studying. Down here, we're smothered in work. So things get out of control. In that case, we may as well reduce the number of study hours. There are too many of them anyway. In my opinion, the problem is that we let ourselves get tied down with work. I'm sure that without study hours, we can't accomplish our task. On that point, I agree with Wu. It's a serious matter. We should improve our political studies. We have to organize our time better. For example, study during the slow hours. In that way, our work won't suffer. Whatever the price, we need the time to study to make sure our work is successful. Otherwise, we'll be distracted, and we won't be able to serve our customers well, even if you're an ace on the job. Today, our worker comrades have made several very important observations. After the meeting, we should make some decisions. As for the future, I'll speak to the rest of the comrades at the drugstore about it. Don't neglect your studies, even if you have a lot of work. Fine. Anything else to say? The meeting's adjourned. Say, could you deliver these medicines? These go to Yukong Street, and those to Jiangguo Street. And then tonight, you'll have to go to Gaon Street for Mrs. Lee's acupuncture treatment. Tonight. Yes, to Mrs. Lee's. To Mrs. Lee's. Yes, Gaon Street. Gaon Street.
Wow.